You're thinking of getting a new driver, or maybe you've never owned a driver before. There's so many choices, so many decisions to make, so many great ideas and new techs. But here are some of my top tips for helping you get maybe some of the best equipment to help your game. And that's the point, it should be helping your game. Right, first point of business. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the thumbs up button as well on this video. And also if you want more help, make sure you hit the bell icon because I've got loads of videos coming with loads of other amazing, helpful golf ideas. So loft, what loft should you buy? Oh, slow. So many people tend to just go 10.5 reg and get on with life, but let's show you some examples of the difference that loft can make to your driver, and it can be a huge difference. So my driver, it's 0.75 up from 8.5. It's in D4, so it sits slightly closed, and it's got 9.25 degrees of loft on it. So my launch is averaging at 13.6, spinning average around 2.3, so 2.4, 2.1, 2.3, 2.4, 2.3, relatively consistent, and then average carry at 2.56, not quite hitting the center of the club, but maxing out at 2.60. I'm now going to go the 9.5 degree loft, but I'm going to loft it up by 1.5 degrees. So I've got my shaft in it, my grip, same head, different loft. So launch has now gone up to 15 degrees as you would expect from 13.6. Spin has gone up to 2,800. Last one down there at 2.5, which actually brought the average down to 2.8. Peak height's now 39, so I'm in the 40 yards high compared to 34. And then I'm 2.43 from 2.56. Loss of distance, gaining height, more spin. I could play golf with both of those clubs. I feel I'm going to play better and get less frustrated with the one that's fit for me in loft. Loft can have a huge influence on how I deliver the club, my ideas of how I deliver the club. If you give me that higher lofted one more, what I'm going to do is learn to hit it like the other one, so then it's going to change my technique. Now for some of you that might be a good thing, for some of you it could be a really bad thing if your technique is already pretty good. Loft is so fundamental yet so ignored when it comes to buying drivers. Hands up if you got a 10.5 regular. So loft can make a huge difference, as you can see, to launches, spins, distance, all those key factors that you're going to want to try and max out to get the most out of your driver. Now what about tech? Tech is an interesting one because it's such a complex kind of idea. But how much is it really making a difference, and how much should it shape your decision of what club to go for? Now, tech is going to allow you to really fine-tune your ideas of what you want your strike, what you want from those spin numbers and launch numbers. And often tech is so much kind of under the hood, what it actually can do to help your game. You might see over a period of many rounds rather than individual sessions, or certainly any custom fit. And then the flip side to that, some tech is really visible and you see it and it responds and it can change the dynamic of your shot straight away. So if we take my driver, it's got a weight port at the back that allows me to move the weight more toe and heel side. This will allow me to dial in feelings and thoughts with shot shape, start direction, even strike. I've got a changeable neck. Again, this is dialing in on lofts to help get launch and spins in the right place. But I also use my neck to try and point the club in a slight direction, because as you manipulate the neck, so I've gone lower loft, 8.5 in this head, and then I've lofted up to 9.5, or 9.75 I think it might even be, which is actually turning the face slightly closed. So I'm actually using the neck to get a desired look down at the ball, then in turn a shot shape. but it's such fine tuning. I could do that in other ways as well. You get other drivers where you'll get weights that move from back to front as well as side to side. Now these can tend to move spin, launches, strikes, distances by small amounts, but it can move them. It can manipulate spins. I think the most I've seen is 500 revs from weight back to weight front, which then in turn can add maybe 5 to 6, 7 yards, even 10 yards extra carry, and then different subsequents in roll as well. You're going to have different face technologies, variable face thicknesses, different amounts of roll and bulge. You'll get loads of advertised tech, the way even the face is designed. Now I'm not saying tech isn't useful, because it is, but it's subtle. Some more visually and strikingly different than others, but often it's very, very subtle. But the thing is that tech is used to sell a product more than something, say, like getting fit for the right loft. But you could see the differences that the right or wrong loft made around my delivery ideas, direction, distance, everything. When buying your new driver or your first driver, try not to get too oversold on tech. It's sexy, it's marketable, it's definitely used. The difference it actually makes, you might not see, and you might pay over the odds for it. Different head sizes, shapes, and obviously brands within brands. Again, they're going to allow you to dial in looks that you want. Some might sit more left than others, more right, bigger heads, smaller heads. All these things are there to help you dial in to the ball flights that you want. You certainly can get lost down the tech rabbit hole. Think about golfers, that basically most of the equipment nowadays is kind of very much over-engineered to give you every possible option that you could dream of. So if there's someone out there who wants a specific shape, sound, look, feel, each company wants to make sure they deliver that to a player. It's not so much that one is better than the other, it's more that one is going to be preferred more than another player. So when it comes to your tech, follow your own instincts a little bit, and certainly that of the fitters as well, when they're telling you what it does that helps you improve your game. Lower spin, higher spin, better shape, all those things. And remember, that'll develop as you develop. So what about this slot as well, the shaft? Bags and bags of different options in shaft, from different lengths, different flexes, different weights. Again, all dialing in to feels as people pull on their club, as they try to deliver it down to the ball. The feelings that a shaft can give you can influence strike, delivery, it can influence ball shape, then in turn distance, all those kind of things. You can go as far down the rabbit hole as you want with shaft. Golf shaft has so many burrows that you can delve deep, deep, deep down. But you speak to any experienced fitter, any experienced tester, you're going to find that the differences are much more towards the player's baggage, if you like, that they bring, the player's ideas that they bring, than there is patterns in golf shafts. I personally would go with your instincts, feels, colours, looks, weights. So weight's a key one for me. If I'm playing and I've got a shaft that's, say, too heavy, I feel like I can fatigue in a round. Why do I want something that's heavier when I get tireder? So I get generally a lighter shafts as a general rule. And again, that's developed with me. That's not always been the case. I've used heavy ones in certain clubs as well because it just feels better. See what I mean? It's going with feel. Now, if you don't know what you feel, because obviously you're new, or what you should be feeling, again, go with the lead of your fitter. Unless you see massive performance gains or drop-offs in one, which, to be honest with you, if you come in with no baggage, that's going to be really rare. Go with what the fitter puts in your hand. Go with what you trust and feel. Or go down the rabbit hole and come back to this position after about 10 years. Some little footnotes, some little tips, quick tips. Watch videos, they can help, on reviews of clubs. But if anything is going remarkably further than another club, be very, very wary of that info. Sticking to brands is cool. You know, if you love a certain brand's equipment and that's what you want to stay within, that's not a problem. If you want to mix and match and try every brand, that also is cool. It's going to be so personal, that feeling towards that brand. But be careful with that. You don't need to try everything. Narrow it down. Often when I had people come for fits who wanted to try every club, we just wasted our time because so many offer such similarities. Narrow it down for a few shapes you like, a few colours you like, a few brands that you like, then try them. Always spend a budget. Just set your budget and keep it around there, because you can go anywhere in price with drivers, and be careful how much you spend subject to how much fun you're getting out of your game. And make sure you get custom fit. Go and see a good fitter who you can have your conversations with and they can help you. Thanks for watching. Post comments down below. Hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the bell icon. Make sure you get notifications of all the new videos. Speak to you soon. Let me know if there's anything I've missed or you want me to cover more. Good luck buying your new drivers.